matchups are locked. Therefore, the winner of this game will match up against Team Dignitas in the first round of the playoffs, and the loser will have to face Team Solo Mid in the first round of the playoffs. The Spring Split champions.
Yeah, the Spring Split champions. Daunting task to be
you
had
win
there.
This one, basically.
You kind of want to win this one. Impulse versus Gravity. We're into picks and bans now. Rumble, Thresh for the Rise and Shen. The Gravity thinks their priorities on that side. We've been seeing those over and over. Sivir still up, may get banned out. A huge factor for an Impulse composition is Kalista banned out by Impulse. Oh, it's the Azir.
About time, I think. Yeah, I mean, it was an interesting pick and ban phase between TIP and Team Liquid because the Azir actually fell a little bit in the draft. It seems like it's a really high priority pick for Gate based on how well he performed on Azir and his relative inexperience in mid lane in the LCS. A more important pick, though, for Team Impulse is actually Nidalee. I'm incredibly surprised to see that. It's a huge respect ban for Impact's Shen. The last time Shen was a huge meta pick, Impact won the World Championship. So you do want to deny him that pick, but honestly, Nidalee for Rush might even be more threatening. And they now have it with their first pick.
Might be the ban Shen take the Gnar as well. Impact had a huge impact on Gnar just recently in his game. Hauntzer takes the Maokai, though. The Sivir is still grabbed away. I like that pick for Gravity to stop Apollo from getting it.
Yeah, and this is really solid picks for Gravity as well. Hauntzer, Maokai is one of his go-to champions. Sivir is probably Altec's go-to as well, even though he's had some hyper-carry performances on others. I like the early draft for them outside of the fact that they did not ban Nidalee. I like everything else. So those two champions fit for Gravity.
Maybe hoping Nidalee would have been Move's pick over a Sivir pick or the first one. Mind games to be played here within the first few picks. Different bans as well. Buddy FuFuu's Thresh actually gets respect on this one, which we don't see all the time. But definitely something that they want to take out to make sure he cannot make the plays. Usually it's the Shen he's making plays on, so they want to take out both as he had to ban it. Kog'Maw, Janna to get picked up here. This spells poke if they lock these guys in. Ooh, but maybe the Alistar as well.
Yeah, they had the Kog Janna in the last game. They nearly pulled out against Team Liquid. Kog can be considered a flex pick, but because we just saw it on AD carry, I think you can assume that it's going as the AD carry in this one.
Yep.
And Team Impulse has also said in the past that they don't necessarily care that much about their team composition champion-wise. It's more so about them just playing champions that they are really good at and can outplay people on.
Yep.
And as far as that is concerned, Apollo's always been a Kog'Maw player. Adrian has excelled. He's had good Janna games, but he's excelled on things like Alistar and Leona, and Rush has absolutely excelled on Janna.
It fits well with the way that
Nidalee, sorry.
Fly, it fits well with the way they said Fly said they approach games as well, as not to strategize for just one team, but all teams. And hopefully they can strategize against this now. The Rengar coming in for move this game, put on the pressure.
Strategize for all teams. Also Rengar.
Also Rengar.
So be ready for moves, Rengar.
Yeah.
Joining high as the only players to play Rengar this split in North America.
What is the answer? Still looking for that mid lane possibly with the flex pick, but definitely looking for a top lane above everything else that we know will be locked in. Gate, like we said, that Azir's been banned out. We've only seen him for a few games, so that champions pool may go quite deeper than we think. Impact could get the Gnar again as well. What a play he had for Impulse on that Gnar if he can get it once again. Be a gentleman for the team.
Yeah. This will be an interesting last few picks. Yep, that's exactly it.
More Gnar ball.
Gentleman Impact. For sure. And also a slight denial pick. Keane has been playing a little bit of Orianna, and this Gravity team comp would fit very well with the Orianna. What's interesting here is Gravity on the red side, undefeated on the red side during the regular season.
Yep.
And now they get a chance to pick exactly what Keane wants against that mid lane Orianna.
It's something that Cop has, attributed to the wins as well. The ability to flex. What my team can do is just so much more than other teams in the way you can pick in bans. And Cop has, since he sat back from the AD carry position, has done great things with Gravity.
Ooh, Keane has been one of the few people to play mid lane Fizz. Just so everyone knows, during these tiebreaker games, there is a coin flip for a side choice. Gravity won the coin flip and chose red for obvious reasons due to their undefeated red side record.
Yep. Teams also have the option within tiebreakers, not within, but before, to get subs in as they would from day to day, but it looks like no one will opt in for that. The teams will stay with the 5 on the rosters they have so far. Both teams have locked in. Now we see the Twisted Fate will be for Keane. They add a bit of map pressure maybe to assist these Rengar ganks. We'll see how it plays out. Both teams look pretty good.
A lot of map pressure. The Twisted Fate will hopefully allow them to create off-number fights. This is actually a strategy many teams have tried against Team Impulse during the second half of the season. A lot of teams were doing Twisted Fate Shen against them just because Team Impulse is a team that just constantly has over-aggression. Naturally, you think you can counter it with Twisted Fate and Shen.
Yep.
Surprisingly, Team Impulse has won all of those games when they faced Twisted Fate and Shen, and they played very well against them, held back their aggression. We'll see if Keane can change this storyline for them.
Third, fourth place, Tip versus Gravity about to go live. The teams have locked in on both sides. We're going to be getting move on the Rengar play this game. Let's see what happens. Nidalee on the other side for Rush. This one's going to be good. Mid laner's not taking any aggressive spells, so that may be a little wishy-washy until we get these 5v5 big fights. Tweet at LOL Esports with either hashtag TIP win or hashtag GV win. We'll tally up those votes once we are on the Rift. It's going to be our second tiebreaker of the day, the extra overtime, and then we have an extra overtime after this one. But we're going to get these two teams now to leave it all on the Rift. Tip versus Gravity. Let's see what they have for each other.
I am ready to go. And first off, Keane always has his own flavor to whatever champion he brings into the Rift. A teleport on Twisted Fate right now.
That was a ghost before, so interesting still. Interesting still.
You very frequently would see Flash Ghost because Twisted Fate needs to close the distance after gold cards, and it's also a second gank escape tool since he's constantly trying to shove the lane very quickly. This one, though, maybe he's worried about rush ganks and needs to return to lane quickly, or he's hoping for a pre-6 teleport gank. I wonder if there's some type of new strategy here for Gravity. Because I was mentioning on the analyst desk after Gravity lost to TDK, these last 2 weeks for Gravity, it felt like Gravity was playing not to lose instead of playing to win. When Gravity has been at their best this split, it's because they're making very clever moves, whether it be a level 1 strategy or a really strange last pick that swaps around their champion select and gives them amazing lane matchups. This is kind of back to Gravity doing a little bit of that. Not only a Rengar, but also a teleport on a Twisted Fate. I just want to see how they try and utilize it if they want to win.
Deep wards, at least more for Gravity's side on this one for a bit of information, especially knowing if the dual lane is going to start Krugs and where the jungler is. They find Rush in this instance. I don't think too many deep wards are coming in from Impulse. They'll just have Top River and Raptor here to start things off. Might give Gravity a chance to do something tricky. You can see they have no vision of the team right now as they stand just outside.
Very interesting that they're through that ward line for now, and they're incredibly patient within this. This could very well. We talked about Gravity's early game moves. Are they going to appear out of the fog? Oh my god!
Over the wall. Move gets the hop from the brush, gets his first attack.
He stole it too.
Scares. Yeah, he was able to get a good hit onto that one. Wow. Fantastically played there. Definitely startled Tip a little bit. I don't think they expected anything. Will they be able to get back to lanes? Lose too much on this? Looks like it should pan out.
Break out the level 1s. It's a Gravity specialty. When they pre-plant level 1s, they have been successful so frequently, stealing away the large Krug right there. We'll see if Rush can make a jungle comeback or if that sets move ahead, because the lanes have kind of reset right now pretty evenly. Rush already level 2, but it denies impact. He's level 1.
And where is Rush going? Is he still going to try to get in the face of Move here? He knows Move's not going to get help with the vision of the champions he sees in lane, and he did get a bit of help from impact before the teleport.
He hasn't pulled it into the brush.
This could be a huge play here for Rush. He gets forward at the beginning. The blue's going over to Rush. He may be able to finalize this kill. The kills, no, the flash is over. Rush jumps the wall. He misses, though, not expecting Keane. Keane level 2. He might be able to get his double buffs back. They may not get anything, actually. And Move goes down as Rush outthinks the starting strategy from Gravity.
Whew. Rush immediately making up the clever move from Gravity at the start of the game. First blood ends up going to Adrian, but honestly, Rush's set move back a tail.
At level 2 in lane as well.
Wow.
Jeez.
Adrian was able to roam without Gravity being able to shove out the lane afterwards. That's a little bit questionable from a bottom lane
with a Sivir
perspective. Not sure exactly how that happened. But
you're saying.
Overall, it's Tip that starts off this game with the edge. Gravity going to need to recover even more now. A loss to the 10th place GDK and first blood.
That has to be just still weighing on them so much. Obviously talking about it instantly, Gravity left the stage quite quick so they could get their head on straight after that game. And it looks like Impulse definitely had enough of a breather to come out and still get that bit of struggle. Turn it back on for Gravity. And Adrian, one time after the other, using it like a Malphite all. Just going in, engaging, and then back out. Nothing to really worry about with the level lead.
A certain level of freedom comes when you kill the enemy jungler this early on in the game. It's very unlikely that Move can pull off any ganks on Rengar until level 6, and it's also very unlikely that he hits level 6 in a timely manner, thanks to the way Rush can now counter jungle him, and because of the early death.
Camps on camps. Well, it's going to be a lane attempt, Jatt. They are going to go towards the top side. Move knows he needs to do something to get himself back in. He has empowered attack up. I don't know if they're going to be able to stop Impact enough. It's good crowd control. It's going to be a tough game.
Keane just burned his teleport to make it back in the mid lane, so the threat of counters from that are also diminished at this point.
A little wasted time there to the top. No, he didn't actually back. He paused on that, making sure the minion wave was just pushed up. Once that, the minion stepped forward, so he actually can't get any more movement. This is not working out for them in just the way it hopefully fall into place.
I wonder how aggressive Impact should get here. If there was a time for Hauntzer to go, it should have been when Impact went for that 1 CS after his minion wave was gone. It's now missed. Communication between Impact and Rush is exquisite. These guys share a lot of trust in each other. Rank 1 and 2 in the North American solo queue ladder. Very frequently ganking together.
Yep.
And jungling together to start the game. Probably the most fearsome jungle top lane duo in North America.
When you have that kind of synergy, it just feels good. A lot of confidence coming into the plays. Confidence can do a lot for getting the kill, making sure you have what you want out of it. Second guessing is usually where you start to fall apart. So 6 minutes in, Move still just kind of stuck with his own jungle camps. Tip's side is clear. Rush is just having a heyday right now, back and forth. He's only got Wolves to do, and then he'll probably head back over to Move's side if he doesn't have a lane to gank here. 25 to 10 in that CS, and he went for the Sheen first, too.
I know. There's 1,400 gold on Move and 2,100 gold on Rush. Plus, if you think about just straight-up combat stats, it's a Sheen advantage straight away since Move is upgraded to Ranger's Trailblazer. No real combat stats. And Rush with his almost patent at this point, sitting on Hunter's Machete and completing either a Sheen or a Brutalizer, depending on the item he goes for.
And it looks like Tip is all over the blue right now, Gravity, which Move finally just cleared, to be honest. So they're not going to actually get the timing they thought there. The wards will go down, however, but you can see just what Move is having to deal with in his jungle over and over. Now to Altec in the bottom, a good spell shield heal will stop one, but not the other, but that's all they wanted. They have to make sure they have the coverage behind them, which they are very wary about instantly. So good play.
They need to start respecting Twisted Fate or Hauntzer, as well as Rengar, so pretty much anyone can come down into this lane and get something big. But for now, Team Impulse just needs to bide their time and only get aggressive at the right moments, knowing that the global pressure can arrive from Gravity.
These rocks in the top lane, even CS across the board here with just a few for Hauntzer to pick up, and you can see the trade back and forth. Going over to the side of Impact with Gnar. Pretty even before he hit that Gnar spot. Items there, not too much of a discrepancy either. We'll have to see after this first fight. The teleport could come in big for this dragon. Let's see who's going to be able to fight it. Looks like they're happy farming though, especially Rush.
Rush really power farming now that he's completed his Rune Glaive. Super speed in that jungle. Trying to make up a little bit for their defeat to Team Liquid. It's been such a volatile day. There was that 4-way tie for first place. Yeah. The fact that the results of the one game that these guys played moving into this can be the difference between first place, a first-round bye, and a guaranteed trip to Madison Square Garden, or a first-round matchup with Team Solomon, who is slumping, but still the spring split champions, like first to fourth, as well as the difference in the potential trajectory of your team moving into the playoffs is just massive.
You don't think things like that can happen at the end of the season. However, when it swings fast, especially if somebody else is having the advantage in that situation. Impulse is feeling that gravity on a bit of a downswing here as they try to pick themselves up after that loss to TDK today. Let's see if Impulse has what it takes to keep the pressure up. With 1,000 gold lead here for them. Rush continues to go crazy in the jungle. When he has control, he takes over.
He is getting really strong. It's 1,100 gold ahead of Move now, so he's the majority of this gold advantage for Gravity. Move will have to be hyper accurate with his first Rengar gank and convert it to a kill if he wants to stay even a little bit relevant in this game.
Well, there's the TFL. It's only going to be a short ways. The shield could come in if it goes on to Rush. That's the ultimate. It's going to save Rush. One last card is able to take him down, but Keane goes down for that, and another assist. Actually, the kill goes over to Impact, so way more in favor of Impulse.
Yeah, and the red buff on top of it, so they thought they could just punish Rush for being so aggressive on a very offensive build as he normally does for Nidalee. No defensive capabilities. Comboing it with Twisted Fate, but Orianna was able to get there just barely. Just barely. That's actually been one of Gate's weaknesses in these two games we've seen, is he's incredibly late to fights, but he makes it not in time to completely save Rush, but in time to convert the kill.
Well, thank God for him, Command Protect is a bit longer than Move.
Yep. Boom. Shockwave kill. The last auto kills from Keane.
Yep.
But Impact was there to close.
What an instant, no, I wouldn't say instant TP though, but the first one to TP. Hauntzer didn't even try in for that one. And at this point, guessing he had a little bit of mana going in. That's going to be the Mega Gnar. He times it nicely, gets the kill, but the Twisted Advance was there. He hops out, the Siege Minion. Kaboom!
Hauntzer could have lived if he would have delayed his Twisted Advance a little bit, because he Twisted Advanced so quickly that the damage on Gnar's wallop still hit him. Crazy little interaction there. But
it's like this could mean something bigger though. Top laners are down. Teleport is up for Hauntzer. This is a TP in for him there. It doesn't look like the team's going to have coverage though. Slow things down. Dragon going over to Impulse. 4-2 in kills so far. Mid laners getting a little bit of what they want in regards to those kills, and core items are being built up. You see that Keane has gone actually for the home guard lucidity boost to get himself in base, out of base, and a possible gate play for the team.
Move again though has to play from behind, something he has not been good at this split. He's also not rushing a Sightstone for the first time we have seen all split.
That's a good point. He's the ward guy for this team.
Yeah, so Gravity missing out on a lot of typical Move strats. It looks amazing when Gravity is ahead and Move can sacrifice combat efficiency and farm while the rest of the team doesn't fall behind. But when the team is falling behind, it's not pretty. And we're seeing that now in the last few weeks of the split for Gravity.
And look at the knowledge control here. You just saw that ping back on Rengar. He's coming around. Rush says, I'm fine. I'm out already. Don't worry about it. So they aren't even in like the smallest area of getting aggressed on right now. Completely working around the ball on Gravity and staying out of their line of sight. Move. Going in with the ultimate here. He's going to have a bit of range on this jump. Yeah, that was a little too early. Figured he'd get the movement speed that would get him there, but not yet.
He's got to wait 135 seconds before he can try that again as well. So swing and a miss.
Good. It's cleanse on gate, so it's going to be a tough gank for them to get unless they can gold card and power bola like instantly.
Yeah, and even then, once you cleanse for the next few seconds afterwards, you get reduced duration on crowd control. So really, they'd want to be killing Apollo or Rush with those ganks.
They can get them now.
They did technically kill Rush with the first gank. It just backfired into 2 deaths of their own.
Yeah.
Being Rengar, who has fallen behind, is never a pleasant experience.
Doesn't feel good. There are those champions that are kind of risky and rewardy. We saw kind of flares going after Riven today. Gamsu's Jarvan took off. Could have been the other way.
Yeah.
A very unfortunate turn of events.
When we say risk versus reward and high-risk champions, this is what happens when they don't pay off.
Yeah, absolutely. It becomes very difficult as well. You second-guess a lot of things. And they saw trying right there a little bit off on Rengar's ultimate. Maybe try again, but like you said, they have to wait here. Again, empowered to the mid lane. Possibly hoping to get something towards the Dragon Pit. Yeah. They are just hanging around each other right now, looking for that pick.
Ooh, Rush. Got to be careful here not to get caught. He's too quick. Nice form swap.
They're like, their mouths are watering in that brush. They want a kill so bad. Unfortunately, they are not crossing the street here, or Tip isn't, if you get into that bad situation.
Yeah,
83 to 36 for the junglers now, it seems.
It really feels like Gravity is running out of time if they want to avoid falling all the way to 4th place in the NALCS standings after this tiebreaker and facing Team Solo Mid, because they're the ones who need to be forcing the plays in this scenario. Their entire team composition, double teleport, Sivir for move speed.
I was just about to say,
Rengar
who's
for
on a
extra
timer.
Yeah. Twisted Fate. All of these things are to create odd-numbered fights. If you're grouping up as 5 like you would in the very late game, they are a weaker team composition than that of Team Impulse. So therefore, Gravity needs to force the off-numbered team fights, 3v2s, 3v1s, and get kills. Because if they don't do that, there will come a time where even a 3v2 wouldn't result in victory.
See if the power's there. Apollo's able to walk out. The Kog'Maw should be the one that instantly dies up from a Rengar gank. Adrian on top of the play there. Oh, don't go too close. Still 3 members of Gravity looking for that kill. Chomping at the bit to get something to happen here, and it looks like it's going to just have to be that turret that goes down so far behind. That's what it looks like when your jungler is 2,300 gold behind the other jungler. You don't kill that. You don't kill that AD carry.
Yeah, and that was teleport was also started and canceled by Hauntzer, so all 5 members of Gravity had a hand in attempting that gank. Yeah. And when all is said and done, they get no kills, and they don't even kill the turret. So just a big investment for hardly no gain.
Wow. Things not falling in the way of Gravity here, and Impulse is very nicely working the advantage. They're not just happy with the advantage, they continue to pressure it, and they continue to make this game that much harder. Are you going to be alive soon, Keane? I don't think so. Very close play to the mid. There wasn't enough follow from Gate or the wave. That could be the kill they want to get. Finally starting to solidify a bit of cash money in their pockets. That goes over to Altec. 1 for him. Should help finish the Infinity Edge, but what can Rush do
to
cancel out this play? Equalize or cancel. There's one. Rush looking for a double kill now. That actually was a living artillery from Apollo. Do they really still want to fight this? The roam down from Gate is here. Keane has already made his presence known. And that teleport to the bot lane.
Well, Tip always wants to fight this. The question is whether or not it will actually happen. There's 3 people under the turret.
He's waiting for the wave.
Yeah. Throw it. Where's the spear? Oh, the last 0.1 second of the recall, and he goes back to base.
Damn.
But even so, this allows Team Impulse to put even more pressure on the map.
Yeah.
Turret still has yet to fall. Move was so patient with that last gank, but in being patient, Rush also took 2 to 3 of his jungle camps and then answered with a kill on the backside. It wasn't his kill, it was living artillery, as you said, but it was created by Rush.
He's still getting the assists on it. He's only not been part of 1 of the kills that happened on the team. He's doing pretty good. He's looking for items to buy next. Almost has another one finished up with that needlessly large rod. Just be a death cap for him already. He doesn't go straight to Azanians for safe play. Oh, the shockwave crushing down Hauntzer. Will Gravity be able to get out of this one? Move hits Rush, but Rush just able to claw right through the beast. Cat and mouse game.
This game is probably now officially out of hand.
Yeah.
It's reminiscent. Team Impulse played Gravity in the playoffs of the Spring Split first round, and Team Impulse ran away with a couple of those games. That feels like what's happening right now. Move is just tremendously punished. This is the hardest I've seen a jungler shut down in a long time. Early game attempt for Gravity at pulling out some of that level 1 magic that achieved victory for them.
I was just going to pull back to that. Rush kind of understanding the jungle completely, and I think how fast Gravity went back to all the lanes to show where they were. He was happy to go in and continuously steal the blue buff. He gets hit. Can he get over the wall? Actually, there's the flash. Winter's Bite comes across. Concussive blows are able to lock him down. And it looks like they may actually lose Gate here, too. Flash is up for him, so yeah, that'll be good. They do give up the dragon as top lane goes toe-to-toe in this 1v1 fight. No, Impact doesn't have that Gnar bar. It just went down, but it looks like he could actually still get under the turret without too much armor. That shield helping keep Hauntzer alive in the end, really.
Hey, well, Gravity with a nice counter move there, finally punishing Rush a little bit for the thousands of gold of jungle monsters he's taken away from Move.
First bit of breathing room there.
Yeah, it gives him 1 dragon. The stats that gives as well will help them a little bit to just stay a little bit closer with Team Impulse. Still about 7,000 gold, though. This is the fight from long ago where the game basically became out of hand. Hauntzer has been getting so heavily pushed in by Impact in the top lane. It just starts from a negative advantage. The 3 levels Rush has over move are pounced upon to finish him off.
I'm gonna get this Raptor camp while we fight. Don't worry about it, guys.
Gotta farm.
Gotta farm.
Gotta be efficient.
Multitasking at its best here for Rush. Impact still able to pick up their blue buff. How many blues have these guys gotten? Pretty much every single one in the game. It's been very, very tough.
It's one of those race to 10,000 gold games for Rush, where he just farms as much as possible while trying to kill everyone. He's at 8,100, 19 minutes in. His record, which is, by the way, the record for anyone in the LCS, was achieved earlier this year. I think it was around 22 minutes and 30 seconds to hit 10,000 gold.
That's
a
absolutely
jungler.
Crazy. Oh, the TP in. That's good for Hauntzer. He's going to be right in the middle, but Hauntzer actually gets locked down. His teleport is stopped by Adrian in the bot lane, and that is not going to help out Gravity. Bunny FuFuu getting chased out now. A good dodge on the boomerang, and actually gets distanced against the wall. There's still a turret there. They got to be careful on this one. Keane with Rush on his backside. Nobody's entering this fight without a fight already happening that they're bringing in. What an amazing game. Keane now to start fighting this one out. The gold card when he needs it. Oh, but the clock tower coming in from Impact to shut that one down. And it looks like a back and forth again. Keane move had died. He just came back up. So 2 for 3 across.
Yeah, the more that Gravity can trade kills, the better chance they have of coming back in this game, because since they're killing off bounties on Team Impulse, the trades actually give more gold to Gravity. And also, there's an experience rubber banding mechanic. Every time they kill Rush, who's very high level, they get more experience for that kill than Impulse gets for killing Gravity. This one in particular,
TP stopped.
Just vanishes from Rush. But the problem in this fight actually happens when Gate fails to get off his Shockwave. I feel like Team Impulse was expecting this. They did mention Xiao, a better team fighter than Gate.
Yeah.
There are a few windows where you'd want to get a Shockwave off, but the Ori Ball's never quite in the right place, and then he's chain stunned before that. With the Shockwave Rush, maybe he can clean this up, but nice gold card right there, which just, it was a Braum stun into a gold card. So just chain CC, not allowing Rush to finish off any of those kills.
Impact huffing the clock tower over his shoulder. This is going to give the team time to coordinate. A Shockwave onto Keane. Rush looks like he could go down. Wait a minute. Okay. The exhaust went out. Rush got a bit of a heal in, so he stayed alive, but the command move, the command protect, and the command shutdown's coming in right now. A double kill over on the side of Gate. They give a dissonance to Impact. The chase boomerang could be there, but that's just going to deter Altec from getting back to help stop anything here. Push down the mid lane.
Only took the one-man Shockwave, but it is sufficient in turning this fight around because the gold lead is enormous across even the rest of the members of Team Impulse. Rush is being punished a little bit for his overaggression, but how punished is he really when he still has a 4,000 gold advantage over the opponent jungler?
Is it 4 now?
It's collateral damage, the 4 deaths from Rush. The cost of doing business, all the counter junglers he's been doing.
He's investing.
Still the top gold in the game.
4,200. So it's even over. Gosh.
That's a bit of gold.
Taking the team out to dinner tonight. See where they can keep going. An Abyssal Scepter for him as well to continuously help any other AP on the team start shredding through the rest of Gravity. Their Locket actually looks to be a bit far off. Still
absolutely.
Costs quite a bit. 800 gold, so it's closer than you think onto Bunny FuFuu, but they would still love to have the Aegis right now.
Yeah, Bunny FuFuu's doing that. I see it occasionally. I really don't like it. He went for a Kindle Gem first, which is a component in the Locket, but that really delays the time in which you can get your Aegis of the Legion. It's health stacking. It's good for selfish stats. You get some nice CDR out of it, but just getting the aura for your team, I find, is far more valuable, especially in games where you're behind. They're just trying to get picks wherever possible now.
We tried it once before. We saw a bit of the bushwhack happening down in River. Rush walked away from that. Now nobody entering carelessly into a very, very dark jungle. You can if you have a jump or an escape here. And Impact doesn't even go all the way through. He's going to say, I'm going the long way around. This seems a little scary.
Like ships in the night. They just snuck past each other, and now they're trying to kill each other's turrets. Impact, that's 5 people, buddy.
Empowered. They are going to try to get over the wall. Now the whole team can get over the wall here. Mega's so close, he's going to actually stay alive. Hex Drinker comes out. They dive the wall without the rest of the team being able to gap close in that situation. He's going to stay alive here. The rest of the team is pushing the bottom inhibitor turret, so they're keeping Gravity here to stop the backs. Hauntzer eventually goes down. What a situation for Gravity.
Oh no, and now Mini Gnar, the ultimate harassment tool to try and delay these recalls. If they stop this for long enough, they could win the game.
You have to be kidding me. Adrian actually has the potential to keep going. It's an empowered Bola on one side. They have a few minions to keep going through this. Not a whole lot of attack speed just yet onto Apollo. Enough to help take down turret number 1 with that Triforce being finished. But man, what a crazy play that Gravity wishes they could turn back time on.
Yeah, they go so hard onto Impact, who is just this monster tank.
By the gate.
Yeah, they go through the base gate. Not everybody can go through the base gate, man. So the damage just doesn't follow through for Team Impulse. They should have been focusing on the turrets. Instead, they just get caught in this terrible situation. They suffer the casualty, and they lose all their turrets. Goes from bad to worse.
Luden's coming up very close for Rush as well. He's going to be scary ridiculous once he gets to that point, and really just Gravity is kind of, well, trying, sealing their own fate here within this game. But you have to attempt to get back in it, right? Or there's never going to be the opportunity, because it doesn't look like Impulse is going to be making those mistakes, right? Definitely too far ahead. And even if they do, it's still time that Gravity has to work themselves back into this game. It's only a bit of breathing room if they were to get a good fight here. Blue buff over to Gate for 1 and 6 on that Orianna in the mid lane. Looking to get himself a Void Staff up next, most likely.
Yep, the standard Orianna build.
So here's Tip. Uncontested on this one, as it should be. Gravity playing it smart, picking up what they can, patching up these waves. They now have a very big consideration of that bottom inhibitor being down and Baron being a real thing for Impulse.
Yeah, and they have to prep this a little bit better with some vision control. Mainly, I feel like the Baron will be used as an instrument to create fights. Team Impulse has such a big lead in the fact they've already cracked the inhibitor wall.
Whoa!
Oreo just one-shot somebody.
Exploded down. Totally wish we could get the damage chart on that puppy. Bunny, FuFuu, and Altec exiting the fight with just about the same HP. And Tip, the rest of the team, moving in now, looking to get the second inhibitor turret of the game.
Yeah, Riv, I'll give it to you. Damage delta move, 1,455, also known as all of the damage. His entire health bar disappears when Rush lands the spear on him right there. But again, he dies for his aggression. We'll see if they can turn something here.
Bunny FuFuu jumps forward to stand by me. Cannot give enough help, and Altec uses the spell shield. Has a bit of time to deliver DPS, but he's hitting brick walls right now with 200 damage crits. That's not what you want to be tearing through the enemy. Move goes in, not empowered on that one. Gets the spell out from the roar. Does get empowered, but Bunny FuFuu's baited into the fight. Everybody on to Move. The attacks from Impact come in, and he makes a big one. Taking down Move. Bunny FuFuu's down as well, and they're going to have this inhibitor quite soon if they can kite around Gravity and keep him this low without being able to heal. Boomerang over the wall, the twisted advance, but he still is going to go down. They have to know it was going to happen.
Literally, Rush is halfway through the mid lane, and he's pinging on the way to the inhibitor. He wanted in for that fight, but he couldn't quite make it. Gravity, though, they all have to go back to base after suffering 3 casualties, and now they can do the smart pings onto Baron. Gate walks straight over a pink ward. The Baron is the name of the game, because it is pretty uncontestable for Gravity to make it to that spot.
A very big seal the deal Baron here for Team Impulse. Nicely played throughout the game. And coming up huge in the jungle. The early game credit going over to Rush for completely shutting down any of Gravity's moves and making this Rengar completely useless.
Ooh. It feels like it's personal or something. Like Rush is suiciding in to kill Move, just showing his superiority.
It takes him to get camps.
It's so far behind.
That hurts. Got to give good play or the credit where it's due, though. Rush definitely coming out strong here. And Move probably isn't in this situation very much.
Rush has died 5 times. His team has died 8. Like, he is going too hard, even though he's having such... He could be having a much better game than he is right now, but even so, he's so powerful right now.
Oh. Like he could be going in with the rest of the team here. Easily cleaned that up. They're making sure the minion wave gets in. A little bit of assist to the buddies in the bot lane. And here we go. Another sub 30-minute game for a tiebreaker, possibly, as Impulse now on the last Nexus turret of Gravity, thwarting them. Gravity seems to still be having troubles in the struggling TDK game. The shockwave only hitting Bunny FuFuu, but able to take out a lot of peel that Gravity needs for this fight. Gate keeping himself very safe on the backside there, face of the mountain to keep him even safer with a shield. They're onto Altec, but they're also onto the Nexus turret, dropping that down, able to open up the Nexus now. Impulse in the third place game is going to take victory over Gravity.
They made short work of that game. As you said, 28 minutes and 33 seconds, Riv. And this victory has got to be a little bit bittersweet for Team Impulse, because with a win over Team Liquid, they would have had that first round bye.
Yep.
But now,
absolutely,
the third seed moving into the playoffs will face them up against Team Dignitas, an opponent they feel very strong against. And this game itself was impressive.
Very impressive indeed. Looking at how those matches went, Dignitas Week 7 was a win for them. Dignitas Week 4 was a loss. So a toss-up there. We'll have to see how it goes. That was a Shao We Shao matchup as well. So this is now going to be a Gate matchup in the mid lane.
The continuing judgment of Gate's appearance in the mid lane. It definitely feels like if they can make it the Russian Impact show, it's the correct path for Team Impulse. As long as they can keep